when I work with a staff member or myself build a program, one of the things that's in the block of the planning is who's the audience and how is it built? And so where are they intellectually? And so you saying students of that age, I assume we're talking early elementary or something like that, where those kinds of things aren't there. Well, the standards are, what's my community? Where am I in my family if I'm a littler kid, you know? I mean, and so a teacher can help to think about community as the places where people make their living. So Lewis and Clark come out to a place where there haven't been any of their ilk, except a few fur traders, and there's books called Before Lewis and Clark, and there's, you know, I mean, so, so there's one perspective of, well, they're not the first, but there are very few, and so they are coming into something that is unused by their family, and so that's newness. I mean, and they do happen to then be the conquerors and take the journal back to Jefferson, and Jefferson really wanted to know about the native peoples. The reason they spent time at Fort Mandan was because these people were traders and had been for 600 years, and if you're a good trader, you're able to let the other into your village and get along with them to carry on a trade. That's why Lewis and Clark were able to spend the winter with the Mandans, because the Mandans were entrepreneurial traders. It was a business for them. And the fur trade grew out of it. Fort Clark and Matutahankush, a village built by James Kipp, who learned the language in the 1830s, and then the steamboats came. Imagine a guy standing on the edge of a hill seeing that first steamboat, and what did he think about that? Did he think, wow, look at all the kettles that are coming for my wife? You know, here's a bunch of really cool stuff. And that's the same perspective that people in western North Dakota have when they see an oil tanker coming out to North Dakota. Is like, that truck's coming out here to rape the Badlands, or it's coming out here to invest in our economy, build our infrastructure, make it better, make America great, whatever you want to say. So there's a perspective there that was happening when Lewis and Clark touched here, and the story starts with them. So a teacher can use that as an access point to talk about who was here and what was that whole 600 years of trade. What the hell were they trading? Sorry. One of the things that they were trading was rock, knife, river, flint. Biggest export in North Dakota for 2,000 years. Find it in Ohio. Find it in Wyoming. Find it all over. The only place it comes from is central western North Dakota. It's the only resource for it. And the native population knew that. It was powerful. They knew it as soon as the glaciers receded, because they were in the glacial ice. That's where this stuff came and was deposited. It's in the glacial till, if you want to go into the geology, and their quarries are in that till, and they're picking up these cobbles of rock that when you break it, you can predict how it'll break. Makes it valuable, because you know what you can make out of it already, because you can predict it. So there's a perspective for why is it valuable? What's this export? It's going all the way across. There's trade involved. Lewis and Clark got here. We just connected the whole story to oil by layering some perspectives into it. And there, I think that's the answer. I mean, you said, how can this help? This is how. They don't have to go and do Lewis and Clark's story as the only story. It's a piece of our life. It's a continuum. And native population doesn't disagree with that. I mean, they just are a little upset that, you know, some of the outcomes, many of them were not pleasant.